Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Takedown talks on the Takedown. This is just a very quick live stream. That's why there was no big 5 minute intro, because it wouldn't be fair to do a big 5 minute intro and then just do a little stream. But as you all know, a lot of us in the Doctor Who community got our hands on the TARDIS interior leak photographs. Now, when we do get TARDIS leak interior photographs or of that description, there's always doubt whether it is 100% legit or whether it's, whether it's someone just messing with us. But we did actually see some construction going on, but that's still that's still not enough uh, for some out there, because they could start building the TARDIS interior and then they mightn't like it and they could start building another one. But I can 100% confirm now that this particular TARDIS interior leak is absolutely 100% legit. The reason for that is because I did two videos where I showed you guys the leaked photographs. Now, in one of the videos, I did say if these videos are taken down by the BBC or whoever it is that's designed it, that would be confirmation that these leaked photographs are indeed 100% true. And I am going to show you right now what I received, and I will show you now what I got. And this is now 100% confirmed. So, I mean, they could take, it'll be very interesting. Now, I have to actually be honest. I went in then and I looked. When I originally put those photographs up, there was several channels, and I mean several channels, that had done the same. Those videos no longer are there. I can't find those videos. So anybody that has actually shared these photographs has gotten the same treatment as I have, because the videos do not exist anymore. So if you're on Twitter, you already would have seen this. Obviously, a lot of you are not on Twitter. So here we go. So I will read what it says. So I put the new TARDIS interior leaked, a 30-second short. Leaked TARDIS interior. That was 1 minute, 1 minute and 20 seconds long. But from 48 seconds to 1 minute and 20 seconds is where the content actually was, and they removed it. So it says unauthorized footage and still images taken without consent in a private blah 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 blah. Now I've got a second photograph to actually show you this as well, and this gives a little bit more detail. Just bear with me there for a second until everything switches over. It will. And it says there, unauthorized footage and still images taken without consent in a private, and then it actually says it here. Unauthorized footage and still images taken without consent in a private environment showing unfinished creative content infringing on a range of copyrights related to the photograph scenes. So it's 100% legit, folks. The TARDIS interior is 100% legit. That is the new TARDIS interior, and BBC or whoever have confirmed it for me. So thank you very much. I always said when I put the videos up that don't be surprised if these videos get removed. I knew what I was doing by putting them up. This is a very clever way of finding out what's legit and what's not when it comes to photographs and stuff like that. Right? And there you go. Again, told you that the TARDIS interior was going to be huge, by the way, folks. We spoke about it on this channel. We had guests that told us what was going to happen, how big it was going to be. It was going to have different levels. And by looking at the photographs that we've seen, it looks like that this TARDIS interior is going to be huge and is going to be multi-leveled. But there you go. 100% now confirmed. It's legit. It's I'm happy about it. I have to be honest. I love it. I'm not gonna lie. It's beautiful looking. And I was, there was a bit of doubt in the back of my mind because stuff gets leaked all the time, but fans have been getting cleverer over these last 5 years. They've leaked a lot of. I mean, I remember Series 2 of Jodie Whittaker's era, right? But at the end of Series 11, some fan had photoshopped an upcoming post. Apparently, you can schedule posts on Twitter. Don't know how that works, but you can find them or something. And some fan out there tried to suggest that the Sea Devils were going to be in Series 12. Now, obviously, that never actually happened. They appeared later on. But I will say there was a possibility for them turning up in Series 12 again. It's just Chibnall bottling it, because there was other stuff supposed to happen, which we reported here on the channel and ended up happening. And then you all got told it was supposed to happen at a different time, but they didn't quite fit into the story, so they decided to do it this way. Exactly, JCW Reviews. So I'll confirm that. Listen, I even said it to Lee. I said it to everybody that left a comment actually at the time, and I said it. And I said it in the video. Do not be surprised if this is legit. These videos will be taken down. I knew what I was doing. I was taking the risk. It is a risk, to be quite honest with you, to do that. Because it could have been a lot worse. It's only a strike. It only lasts for 90 days. So it's no big deal. It'll disappear after 90 days. But, if BBC felt that I had did more than what they suggested, well, then I could have been not being able to stream for a month. So I was taking a huge risk, right? And you know me, guys. I don't take a lot of risks. But when it comes to stuff like this and I want stuff confirmed, yeah, I will do what I need to do to get it confirmed. And I did. It's confirmed now. That's the TARDIS interior. Everybody's going to be happy because the reaction to it was you seen the reaction to it. Everybody was bloody excited. Now, also, just want to point out, because someone out there was spreading falsehoods about this channel yet again, suggesting that me account was temporarily on Twitter, was temporarily I was temporarily locked out of my Twitter account. Now, if you were to listen to some person out there, they suggested that I was taken down, and they produced a screenshot and then did a fancy little video to say that I was done for harassment. Then I actually came back with the actual email of the reason why I was removed from, well, not removed from Twitter, but locked out my Twitter account. And again, guys, it's absolutely ridiculous. The thing about it is I can debunk most of this stuff that people say about me, but it still doesn't make a difference to the eyes of these people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this screenshot. Now, how me account was locked on Twitter, this is how it went down. Gary from Neurotic was obviously reporting the same news as all the other YouTube channels did, because he's obviously a Doctor Who fan, and he put the concept picture up on his Twitter account. I then went in to his thread because they were all talking about it, and I put up the rest of the photographs and put them in the thread, right? I got nothing for a couple of days, and then I was hit with this, right? Now, as I said, this person tried to say that my account was locked because, because I was bullying, harassing. By the way, I still haven't gotten an email to confirm that whatsoever. This is the only email that I've received off Twitter to tell me the reason why I was locked out my account. And as you can see there, the following material has been removed from your account in response to a DMCA takedown notice copied at the bottom of this email. And as you can see there, image uploaded with tweet, right? And I said to Gary there's his name there. Here's the rest of the leaked photographs, Gary, basically, right? So they removed the photographs, and that's why I was locked out of my Twitter account. There's people out there, they will try desperately to make me out to be someone that I'm not, right? I am not a bully. I am not toxic. I am not any of the stuff that you accuse me of, right? I'm getting it in the neck right now on Twitter because I'm defending Noel Clark and I'm defending John Barrowman. Even one of the actresses from Torchwood has publicly now come out and supported John Barrowman, and she's told everybody to leave John Barrowman alone. Yous weren't there. I was there. We had fun while making Torchwood 15 odd years ago, and I still enjoy Torchwood, right? So she came out and she defended him, right? She came out and she defended him because she's sick and tired of the harassment that he's getting. But it's because of all of these falsehoods. Nikoto Mori, yeah, I can never say her first name properly, and I didn't want to mispronounce it, but absolutely spot on. That's who I'm talking about. She come out all guns blazing, and now she's gotten a bit of stick now because she's come out and defended. This is why actors and actresses that have probably originally supported John Barrowman won't come out and publicly support him now, or supporting him privately but won't support them publicly, right? It's the same with the Noel Clark situation, right? You have some that are willing to stick their neck out there and support publicly, and there's some that will support privately, because you see what happens if you support anybody publicly, right? I've been called a supporter of a SP. You know what I'm talking about when I say SP. We have to be very careful about the words that we use on the channel, right? I've been called a scumbag, right? You've got someone on Twitter now. She's a girl, she's a woman, and she's spewing the most vilest crap. She even went as far as to send me a couple of DMs, right? And then as soon as she found out I was supporting Noel Clark, she literally went nuclear on me, right? She literally went nuclear. And she's been banging on about Noel Clark now the last couple of days.
I can add to that.
Oh, can you?
Yeah. Well, like, because, I follow them on Instagram and stuff and everything. And even, some of the other social medias where I can go look. So what I've noticed is happening is there's people that have accounts that have made a public thing of like, John, I support you, or Noel, I support you, or whatever. And then people start going into their personal account, and sending people to attack them for supporting truly terrible people.
Yeah, but they're not.
And I know it's not. I'm just saying it's valid. Some people now don't even feel safe enough to comment because they don't want people coming after them.
Exactly.
And that's just general everyday people.
And this is what I reckon happened so far, right? There was just some out in that fandom out there that were waiting for a moment to stick it into her because she's been a very vocal supporter of both Johnny Depp and Noel Clark, right? So there was someone out there waiting to pounce, waiting to take her down, and now she's no longer on Twitter. The same with John Barrowman, no longer on Twitter. And this is what these people are trying to do. They're trying to create all of these falsehoods that I'm this, that, and the other, so people go and report my account and I get taken down. I've told you you're wasting your time anyway, right? I don't care, right? I've got a backup anyway. I've got my second account that's there that was set up As I said, after Twitter accidentally suspended a lot of accounts, what was it, last year or the year before, when that whole thing, when Twitter was acting all weird and everybody was getting suspended, I'd set up a second account then, right? So that second account is there. People that follow me here are following me on that second account. So it makes no difference. You're wasting your time. You have tried for 5 years to hound me off this platform and to hound me off Twitter. I'm not going anywhere. Many times you need to be told, I'm not going anywhere. And I'll defend people like John Barrowman and Noel Clark because both situations are completely different, right? But let's talk about the John Barrowman one real quick, right? So he apologised 16, 17 years ago for taking these little Barrowmen out and whacking it on people's shoulders. As we've heard from one of the actresses, Torchwood, you were not there, right? So you don't know what happened, right? She does. She was there, right? And she's even defending him and saying it was nothing sinister, right? And we've heard this before. But after the original incidents happened, he was reprimanded. He apologized. Now some people are trying to bring up the fact that he did something on Alex Kingston, right? Because they can't get him on the stuff said. So now they're trying to find new stuff on him. But he apologized, right? 16, 17 years ago. That apology was accepted. He was able to move on. Now we get new kind of fans in the fandom now, and they want everybody cancelled for past mistakes, even if they've apologized. And as I said in my video on Twitter, right, because I put a little video on Twitter, no matter how many times John Barrowman apologizes now, they will never accept it. But the most ironic and shocking thing about this is that he actually owes none of them an apology. They're all playing the victim for something he didn't do to them, right? He did absolutely nothing to them, but yet they're the ones that are all demanding that his apology wasn't sincere, so you have to apologize again. Or now you're trying to blame others and all of this. Listen, after the second or third time he apologized, after that, yeah, he was pissed off apologizing. And rightly so. Why should he continue to keep apologizing for something that he'd already been able to move on from? Right? Just because all you little whack jobs are in the fandom now, right? And you want to go back because society now is completely different now. You can cancel someone for saying something that they said or things that they did that are not. And it was a prank, by the way. You can call it whatever you want. It was a prank. They've all said it was a prank, right? But you can't get that through. You are thick skulls. He did not do it to you. You have no right to be offended. You have no right to be outraged, right? The only people that have a right to be offended and outraged are the people that he did it to. And again, I will say it again and stress it again. They accepted his apology. So I don't care who you think you are, right? Okay? Don't be coming back into the fandom after crawling out of that little hole that you've been in for the last few years because you couldn't hack it in the fandom. Because as soon as you said something negative about the Whittaker era, you got piled on and you ran away like cowards. Yeah? Don't come back now and dictate that John Barrowman handled it. John Barrowman handled it wrong. He didn't handle nothing wrong. He was reprimanded. He apologized to the people in question and he was able to move on. I do not care if you don't like the way the apology was done. The fact of the matter is it was accepted, right? He was able to move on, right? And he even got unfortunately for Captain Jack's character, he got to be in the previous era of Doctor Who, which you didn't watch because you ran off because you got picked on. And now you are coming back after what happened to you guys and how you felt about being picked on. And now you are demanding that John Barrowman apologise, and now the poor man's being hounded off Twitter. Do you not see how ironic that is? How hypocritical that is? You all need to leave it out, right? Because as I said, and I'll say it again, there's a perfect example of a celebrity out there that was hounded by the media and hounded by people on social media. And that person ended up, well, let's just say this person's not here anymore, right? Because of the bullying and harassment. Now, if you guys have a problem with John Barrowman, right, or Noel Clark for that matter, just on the Noel Clark stuff, just want to make the point clear that there has never been any charges and no crime reported. And a hit piece in the Guardian newspaper is not credible. Is not credible. Right? So there is due process there and there's law and order there. Now I know most of you in society today, especially all of you newfangled fans, you know, you don't respect law and order. Sure, you want to cancel the police everywhere all over the world. So you don't respect the law. But the rest of us in society respect the law and due process. And until that is done, Noel Clark, in the eyes of everybody in society, is innocent until proven guilty. Right? So until then, he should be able to get on with his life. But that hasn't happened. And it's the same with John Barrowman. You will not be happy until you destroy that man. And it's the same said with Noel Clark. The end game for you guys is to destroy these people completely. And that's the society that we live in now. Now, what do you mean they've announced Whoopi Goldberg? You're out because, hold on, let me get this straight. So Whoopi Goldberg comes into the show and you're out because of an actress, because you don't like her opinions on The View. Listen, I don't like her opinions on The View. I actually think over the last few years she's kind of ruined her reputation, right? But that's no reason not to watch the show because you don't like a particular actress. I mean, there's actors in movies and actresses in movies that I love, but I don't like them. Let me see. Well, again, someone else has publicly supported John Barrowman. I think this is someone else. Actually, it looks like it's John Barrowman's husband has come out and said something. I think he's had enough. I wouldn't blame him. Well, you see, here's the thing, Tiggy. You might feel like that, right? But for the rest of us in over this side of the pond, we don't watch The View, right? We don't listen to what Whoopi has to say, right? So, in fairness, you know, I can get where you're coming from, and a lot of Americans and other people from that side of the pond will probably have a problem watching Doctor Who. That's fine, fair enough. But the majority won't, because the majority are not even aware of some of the stuff that she comes out with on The View. Trust me, not loads of people from our side of the pond are sitting down watching The View. But let me see. Now you're saying it's confirmed Whoopi, so let's see. And her name has been popping up for years anyway. So let's see if this is legit. Like, I'm still gonna watch, you know, because at the end of the day, she's just an actress. She's not gonna have an overall bearing on the show. Right. Right, here we go. Hold on. They just announced what. Right, that's weird because I see absolutely nothing about Whoopi. Ugh. Here we go. 371 tweets doesn't fill me up with any optimism. Right, I don't know where people are saying Whoopi Goldberg is not being confirmed as Anton. Where's the post? I've went in, had a look. There's nothing there. Where have they announced Whoopi Goldberg? Please tell me, and I'll go and check. But I can't find it. There's nothing about Whoopi Goldberg and Doctor Who that I can see. So show me where, Tiggy. You're the one that said it. So do me a favor. Post me a link. Post me the link, or tell me where I can find this. Oh, and I'll just add though, if it's from a YouTuber, then I don't want to know, because then that's not legit. That's not confirmed. I can't blame Barrowman's husband. He should have had more than enough of this fight. Yeah, I know, man. I know. It looks like Lee. Problem being, Lee is at the send of me screen, but my phone's at the dying on me there. So I'll go in as soon as we clear up this Whoopi Goldberg nonsense, because I'm not leaving until I get that confirmed or denied. Because I don't see it. It's not even trending. So she's got 371 tweets, and it's about the stuff that she's come out with, but nothing about Doctor Who. Whoopi hasn't been confirmed. There's nothing confirmed. Who told you that? There we go. Whoopi Goldberg. Check the news. Let me see. The View Whoopi Goldberg shouts, "Come here," as she goes wild. The View Whoopi Goldberg sparks concern. Whoopi Goldberg defends blazing saddles. Whoopi Goldberg defends blazing saddles. Nothing about Doctor Who. So I'd like to know who's actually spreading these falsehoods, actually. See, this is what I'm saying. There's people out there that are literally taking people's word for shit. They'll come out and say, "Oh, Whoopi's confirmed," and they'll just talk about it. It's not, nothing's confirmed until BBC or Bad Wolf Studios announce it anyway. And look, this Whoopi Goldberg rumor has been going around since Series 11, right? Because when Jodie Whittaker was cast, she was being interviewed and she was asked about Doctor Who, because she had mentioned something previously about Doctor Who, and she said she'd love to be in Doctor Who. And this rumor has gone on since then that Whoopi is turning up. She was supposed to turn up in Series 11. She was supposed to turn up in Series 12. Then it was Flux. You know, Notre Dame has eventually got things right, because, you know, you repeat the same shit. Eventually it's going to be right. Same thing here. Right? Same thing about, well, I won't mention, because, you know, there's YouTubers out there that spew the same shit every day for the last few years about this, that, and the other. Right? Eventually they're going to be right. Eventually, everything that they said is going to be right, because, you know, they said so much fucking shit. You know, they're bound to get a hit somewhere. That's what I mean, mate. The Kristen Alls even. Doctor, listen, Tiggy, here's the thing, right? I don't know who told you that, right? The fact that you haven't actually sent me a link after me asking you or telling me who's told you is you know what I mean. You shouldn't listen to stuff out there. It's easy to figure. It's actually easy to dismiss all of this, you know, because you know it's three. It's what is it? 20 to 4 now. She'd be. She'd have more than 371 tweets. I don't see anything on Whoopi Goldberg. So, whoever's told you is telling you fibs. See, this is the thing I don't like that's going around in the fandom. There's literally people being told that this, that, and the other is happening, and then they're going into other people's chats then, right? The people that watch these streams or whatever, right? And then they're going in, they're spreading all of this. Oh, so and so said that so and so is coming to Doctor Who and all of this. You know, yes, Whovians need to be cleverer than that, you know. I mean, the Star Wars fans have been duped for years with certain people out there. You know, Doctor Who YouTubers, you know. Well, I'd like to think that I know that the people on my side of the argument, the people that I know that do report on stuff are honest and legit people and they don't just spread bullshit. But then there's other side of our fandom we have seen, right, that love to go on to Reddit or 4chan, right? We've even had one YouTuber whose friend was making up stuff, but yeah, that YouTuber was reporting on that stuff and trying to say it was fact and none of it ever came true. Like, so we do have them in the Doctor Who fandom as well, right? So this is what I always say, right? Nothing is confirmed and nothing is legit until BBC press office or whoever's running the communication side of it, whether it be Bad Wolf Studios, whether it be Disney, whether it's a joint announcement or whatever, that's where it will come from. That's where it will come from. Now, I know people are saying because of the Disney Plus thing, it's easy to throw Whoopi's name in there because she happens to be American and all of that. So people will probably buy a hook, line, and sinker. Right? As I said, Whoopi being in Doctor Who, she'd probably be only in one episode if she was to appear and it'd be a cameo. Would I really give a shit? Would it really affect the overall of the show? Absolutely not. It's not about one actress or one activist or whatever she is nowadays. And I don't agree with her opinions. I don't agree with the way all of those women. It doesn't matter what points of view they have. I don't like talk shows like that because talk shows like that divide public opinion, but they can also drive a wedge through the public. And when you have the rhetoric that's coming out of the View, that you see coming out of the View, it is very dangerous. They talk about danger out there. Shows like that, right? We're all for debate and stuff, right? But when it's just one-sided all the time and it's just bash, bash, bash certain people out there, right? It's not balanced. It's not balanced, right? If it was more balanced, then nobody would have a problem with the View because you'd have both sides of the story, both sides of the argument, having their debates and being able to hash it out. And the whole point of shows like that is then to inform not only the American public, but for them to make up their mind which side of the argument they fall on. But when you have a show like The View that's one-sided, right? You are causing an awful lot of damage to that society and to that country, right? So I know what she does, I know what The View does, but if she's in Doctor Who, I'm sorry, I'm not American. You know what I mean? I mightn't agree with her views, but at the end of the day, it's just a bloody cameo if it happens. But look, as Chris has said, this rumor was out last year, it was out the year before, and it was out the year before. And she'll be rumored again, even more so because of the Disney Plus deal, right? Gillian Anderson's name was mentioned as well. There was a lot of high profile actresses that have been mentioned over the last few years connected to Doctor Who, and it'll be no different. It'll be no different, especially under RTD. The caliber of actress. Remember, Olivia Colman was in Doctor Who under Moffat, right? Okay, she went on to win a bleeding Oscar. Look at all the actresses that ended up that were in RTD's era that ended up going on doing absolutely wonderful things. Same with actors, right? Andrew Garfield, for example, is one. He went on to do amazing things after that, including The Amazing Spider-Man, which I love. I love the first Amazing Spider-Man. Now people hate the rehash of the origin story and all of that, but I just love that movie. He was my favorite Spider-Man, still is. Um, Tom Holland has grown now. Since the last movie, Tom Holland has went up a lot in my estimation. It's not that I don't like him as Spider-Man. I think he's done okay with it. But I think the last movie that they did, he really came into his own as Spider-Man. So I'm delighted for him because it was brilliant. And off the back of that, then I watched Uncharted. I've played the games, but I watched the movie. That movie gets an awful lot of stick. Was it exactly like the game? No, it wasn't. They took liberties. Of course they did. It's a movie, but I was happy enough with it, and I can't wait to see if they do a second part. Personally, but there you go. Yeah. So if anything happens with Whoopi, sure we'll keep you informed, and obviously then I will be the big man and say to Tiggy, I got it wrong. But I just don't see anything. I just don't see anything. And trust me, if that was confirmed, she would be trending a lot more than 370 odd tweets. Let me see. I'll just check again just to be fair before we leave. Right, so we go Whoopi Goldberg, we go latest on Twitter. No, nothing. But I mean, look, here's the thing anyway, right? This is how you can kind of rule this out, right? Without even waiting for BBC. Because I've just thought of something and I've seen something there while I was trolling her name. Oh, trolling her name. I mean, scrolling her name, right? Uh, the stuff that she said about the Holocaust, right? You honestly believe, right, that she's gone that Doctor Who, RTD, and Co are gonna bring a woman on that said things about the Holocaust, and basically the comments that she made were very offensive. You honestly believe that RTD will want drama if he brought Whoopi in? Because there would be drama, right? Here's the interesting thing though. If she was cast, it'd be very interesting the people that talk about, being nice to others and their beliefs and their religion and stuff like that. it'll be very interesting to see how they would react if Whoopi was brought in, considering the things that she said about the Holocaust, or how they'd feel about the fact that, when Whoopi Goldberg was dating Ted Danson, she made him do blackface. I wonder how they would feel about that. Would they complain, or would they be happy about Whoopi appearing on the show? Because I could tell you now, if it was to be announced, I would have a huge problem with that, 100%. This person, as I said, The View is a dangerous show. Because when she was saying all of those things, where was the pushback from the other side? There was no pushback. Right? So, no. It's not. I don't believe it'll happen. It'd be a mistake, in my opinion. You're bringing unnecessary heat onto Doctor Who. But we got to wait and see, man. Just wait and see what happens. But the TARDIS interior, anyway. Feck Whoopi. I've wasted enough time on her anyway. Yeah, she played Guinan, and obviously she's in the season of Picard, but she made the comments after she'd already filmed. So if anybody says that, because I know people will bring that point up, so I'm going to dismiss it straight away and debunk it by actually saying she'd already filmed whatever she had filmed for Picard, and then she made the comments. Right, so let's get it out there, because some people say, well, they put her in Picard like they didn't have an issue. No, they already filmed. Right, now it'll be up to the editors or not whether they want to remove her, and the people behind it whether they want to remove her scenes from the show. Right, but sometimes that's too costly and too expensive. So because of the way America is now anyway, there wouldn't be as much outrage as Whoopi doing that. Of course, it was someone on the right side of the argument making those claims, and they appeared in that show, that all hell would break loose. They'd want the show cancelled and all of that. It's different. It's different. Whoopi won't get as much pushback as if a person on the other side of the argument made those comments. Right? That's just the bottom line. Anyway, we're gonna leave it there. Because the missus has come in, she's smiling now because she probably thought I was finished ages ago. I was supposed to finish ages ago. But we leave now. And all I'll just say is, look, if that happens on this Whoopi thing, which I don't see, but I'll let you know. But as I said, the TARDIS interior is 100% confirmed, folks. So yeah, take it in. That's your TARDIS interior. Now, people are saying they don't know whether it's for it's for the 60th or just for shooty season, or is it for both? I think people have kind of forgotten that there was a rumor out there that the TARDIS interior, David Tennant's TARDIS interior, was going to fluctuate from different TARDIS interiors during the whole thing, right? But people have forgotten that completely. Now, here's the thing. This is the way I'm thinking about it logically. Why would they give David Tennant that TARDIS interior as well as Shooty? Right? Because that TARDIS interior, right, should be for Shooty. Right? Remember, something went wrong with David Tennant's regeneration, right? And the TARDIS was acting up. I think people forget that in Flux, even though Chris Chibnall didn't explain it well. Remember, the TARDIS was screwing up as well, right? So I don't necessarily believe that TARDIS interior that we've seen is for David Tennant too. I think what you might see is something happen with the TARDIS, like what they did the Doctor's wife. Remember when House took over the TARDIS and there was different TARDIS sets of console rooms saved into the TARDIS memory bank. That's what I reckon will happen with David Tennant. I don't know why they would give him and Shooty that and kind of blow it as a surprise, because that would be, well, obviously it's blowing now because the photographs have been confirmed. But you know what I mean? To me, that shoots that TARDIS interior suits Shooty more than it would David Tennant. And then some YouTubers that call themselves credible even suggested that he was going to keep his coral interior. Now they're changing their mind. He's saying he could have make up his own mind. It's either he has the coral or he doesn't. Anyway, we leave it there for now, folks. Have a good one. We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you very soon. But yeah, if anything comes from this Whoopi rumor, again, I will let you know. But this has been an ongoing thing with Whoopi Goldberg for the past few years. Even as I said, we had Gillian Anderson's name was popping around for a few years as well. Listen, I'm not surprised that names and trust me, Whoopi won't be the last actress from that side of the pond to be linked to Doctor Who, because with the Disney deal as well, the RTD could be clever by having an American in there, or having someone that's maybe, not just having American cameos all the time, but maybe have a consistent character. Because remember, RTD does like to have these characters, these quirky characters, and he might have another American character, Because remember, River Song, started off in the RTD era, of course, but then was continued in the Moffat era. So it wouldn't surprise me if we get more actresses from that side of the pond, and indeed actors from that side of the pond, to be linked to Doctor Who over the next few years now. It won't be just British actors and actresses anymore. It'll be, because, the RTD is not stupid. He's trying to win us over, but he also has to try win the Americans' audience over as well. And no better way to do it than to start introducing characters from that side of the pond. Simple as that. Anyway, Chris says thank you. No problem, lads. And Daniel there as well. Listen, thanks for all you joining in. Really appreciate it. We will be continuing our Christmas Who watch along maybe tomorrow. Yeah, it will be tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow. I'm just going to take a chill day today, because obviously it's coming up now near to Christmas now. So as you know, I'm going to be busy over the Christmas, because I cooked the Christmas dinner here. So I've got all the prep and all to do and all of that. Now, I know it's not until like next week, but still, I need to take a little break in between, just so because yous ourselves, Christmas takes a lot out of you, especially if you're the one that's doing the cooking and stuff like that. But I do enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie. It might be a pain in the arse, but I love Christmas, and especially since I've been married, I love spending it with Cheryl and Ted. It's the three of us, but we like it. We like it that way. It's nice little family Christmas. And we will be on Christmas night, because Cheryl kind of, flatlines, because we get up early, but she flatlines early in the evening, and she ends up going to bed. So we'll be on when she does, and we'll be doing twice upon a time, which is the last Christmas special before obviously that horrible era of Doctor Who came along. But yeah, that'll be the last one on Christmas Day. So we will be continuing our Who watch alongs. Remember, Friday nights is Friday night contact, and we are back tomorrow. Oh Jesus, it's already Thursday. Do you know what? I've lost all track of time, lads. I've lost all track of time. We'll be back with Lee and Cultivated Media Incorporated, formerly Bowstrek, for their debate about electronics and other stuff tomorrow. That's going to be fun because they're always at each other. They're like two kids. Even when Lee turned up on bloody Twitter again, guess what happened? They start having their little conversation about Panasonic and Sony again. They just can't let it go. But come and join us for that tomorrow. That will be fun. And I will stick that Christmas Who special in during the day like I have been doing. So don't worry, there'll be 2 streams tomorrow. So have a good one. I'll talk to you soon. Enjoy the rest of your night. Look after yourselves as well, right? Because of all that crap that's going on Twitter. And try to ignore a block. Best thing to do, guys. You know, you'll have a hell of a lot more peace. Right? I'll talk to you very soon. Have a good one.